Hi Jim, firstly thank you for providing me with all that valuable information regarding the concerns that myself and the rest of the drug court team have with your involvement in the drug treatment order program. And before we get into how we can work together to make sure that you continue to progress through the program, I'd like to say that I think you're doing a really good job, and based on what you've told me, I can see that you really do want to progress through the process and make the process a positive one for yourself, so well done. But in saying that, as you're aware, there are negative consequences to not fully adhering to the guidelines of the drug treatment order. And whilst I know that you're putting in a lot of effort, as I said, with the program, if we don't come up with solutions together to fix your decreased attendance at both the college and the DBT course and fix the issues you have with the psychiatrist and the antipsychotic that you're on, the court will likely revoke the treatment order, and you would likely end up serving time in prison, which, as I said, I know that's not what you want, and that's why we're going to come up with solutions together so that you don't end up in prison. From what you've described, it seems as though you have a few concerns with the college and the DBT course that you've been attending, as well as your medication that your psychiatrist has prescribed. And on that, it's extremely important that you are completely open and honest with any concerns you have regarding any sort of aspect of this treatment order. Whether that's through me or other members of the drug court team, or indeed through the psychiatrist themselves. It's all part of our job to make sure that you do adhere to the program and continue through it, and we want to work together to make sure that you do that. So, like I said, just continue to be completely open and honest. Now, in terms of your attendance at the DBT course, I understand that hearing stories from other members or other participants in the course there, that hearing their stories can sort of trigger, negative impacts on yourself. And I understand that that's why you sort of want to move away. But in saying that, it's good to remember that the people there are, expressing themselves and sharing stories as a way of providing some sort of, therapeutic relief for themselves. And it's also good to remember that that they were once in a position not unlike you, and through attending this program, they've found that eventually they are comfortable enough to share their stories, and indeed it becomes a therapeutic experience for them. And I think that if you commit to it, then hopefully that will become a therapeutic experience for you as well. In saying that, if you really do feel like your mental health is not up to it yet, and that you are unable to attend and listen to their stories, we can have a chat to the drug court team and potentially delay your attendance at the DBT course, and until your mental health feels more up to it. Now, in regard to your attendance at the college, I understand that you feel as though being in class and not being able to understand makes you feel dumb, and that you feel as though the instructors think you're a junky loser. But in terms of combating that, I think with your approval, obviously, I'd like to see if we can organise a meeting with the student counsellor of the college, with myself, yourself and them, and see if we can work through some of your concerns to try and alleviate feeling that way. And in terms of what we can sort of hope to get from that, potentially a bridging course, enroll you in a bridging course to try and improve your maths so that you can get up to scratch and continue through the college course. And I'm sure in talking to the student counsellor will hopefully put your mind at ease that the instructors don't think you're a loser, and in fact just want to be there to help you progress through the course. Now, in terms of your difficulties with the bus timetable, there's certainly ways in which we can hopefully get around that together, and what I'll try and do is look into different services that are offered as part of the drug treatment order that might be closer to home. That way you don't have to, get on multiple buses and the brain fog that comes with having to jump around on different buses. Now, again, coming back to needing to be fully open and honest, that certainly applies to your psychiatrist regarding your concerns with the antipsychotic medication that you've been prescribed. And whilst I understand that at the moment the hallucinations aren't concerning you, as you know, with schizophrenia, without medication and the appropriate sort of treatment, that can certainly develop, those hallucinations can certainly develop to a point where they are definitely concerning for you. And that's why the use of an antipsychotic is very important. And I know that the one that you've been prescribed, gives you headaches, but there's a number of different antipsychotics out there. And I think if you're open and honest with your psychiatrist, hopefully they can trial you on another one, because as part of your drug treatment order, being on this antipsychotic is very important, and not taking that, again, could have your order revoked, and then, like I said, you could potentially end up back in jail. Now, just lastly, I need to gain your consent to be able to talk with the rest of the drug court team regarding all that we've discussed today in terms of the solutions we've worked through. Is that okay for me to do that? And this is so that we can continue to work as a team to make sure you progress through the program and get yourself better, which, like I said before, I know is what you want, and we want to be able to do that for you as well. And lastly, I will need to inform them that you have been driving the vehicle unlicensed. But like I said before, potentially if we get the bus timetable sorted and manage to move courses, then you won't have to resort to driving unlicensed, and you can just take the bus where you need to go.